Compassion, resilience, determination. 3 words to describe one of the greatest women of the 19th and 20th centuries will finally have her story told through an inspiring film, Cabrini.
If I made you the first woman ever to lead an overseas mission, the whole world would look to you as proof of what woman can or cannot accomplish.
The movie Cabrini is based on the inspiring true story of a woman's fight for humane treatment, better living conditions, and increased compassion for immigrant orphans at the turn of the 20th century, eventually becoming the first American saint of the Catholic Church and one of the most inspiring entrepreneurs in American history. Cabrini devoted her life to fighting for the happiness and health for individuals in the margins of her society. So who was this titular character of Cabrini? Cabrini's real name was Maria Francesca Cabrini. Francesca Cabrini, born on July 15, 1850, in Sant'Angelo Lodigiano, was drawn to a life of religious devotion from a very young age. Influenced by her sister, a schoolteacher, her uncle, a priest, who regaled her with tales of missionary work, and the Daughters of the Sacred Heart, who guided her education, Francesca embarked on her path to service. The Daughters of the Sacred Heart was founded by Saint Madeleine Sophie Barat in France, 1800. She established the congregation with the aim of educating young girls and providing spiritual guidance and support to individuals in need. Despite facing obstacles such as contracting smallpox during an epidemic, Francesca's resolve remained steadfast. The smallpox epidemic of 1850 in Italy was a significant health crisis that affected numerous communities throughout the country. This outbreak of the highly contagious viral disease led to widespread illness, suffering, and death among the population. After being denied entry to the Daughters of the Sacred Heart due to health concerns, Francesca found her calling in charitable work at an orphanage in Codogno. There, in 1877, she made her vows and established the Institute of Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart, becoming its prioress. Under her leadership, the institute flourished, providing care and education to orphaned girls. Though her heart longed for missionary work in China, Francesca heeded the call to serve Italian immigrants in the slums of the United States. At the invitation of Archbishop Corrigan of New York City, Francesca and 6 sisters embarked on their journey, arriving on March 31, 1889. With the support of Archbishop Corrigan and Countess Mary Cesnola, who generously contributed funds, Francesca opened her first institution in America. Throughout her life, Cabrini traveled extensively during her lifetime, visiting numerous places around the world to establish institutions and carry out her missionary work. While the exact number of places she visited may vary depending on the sources, Cabrini is known to have traveled to Italy, the United States, South America, France, England, Spain, and other locations. She founded a total of 67 institutions worldwide, including schools, orphanages, hospitals, and social service outreach programs, demonstrating the breadth of her travels and the global reach of her humanitarian efforts. Remarkably, Francesca narrowly avoided tragedy when she canceled plans to sail on the Titanic in 1912 due to urgent matters, sparing her and a companion from the ill-fated voyage. Cabrini's impact extended to Seattle, where she established Mount Carmel Mission on Beacon Hill in 1903, comprising a school, convent, free kindergarten, temporary mission chapel, and a Sacred Heart orphanage. Recognizing the need to relocate due to the city's plans to regrade Beacon Hill, she acquired property on Lake Washington and moved the orphanage there in 1914, dedicating it as Sacred Heart Villa. Renowned Seattle architect John Graham designed a residential and school building for the site in 1924. Transitioning from an orphanage to a private school in 1949, the sisters, with assistance from Catholic charities, placed the children in homes and opened a private day and night nursery and elementary school in 1950. The Villa Academy, initially serving kindergarten to 8, continues to operate even today. In 1915, Seattle faced various challenges regarding sanitary conditions, typical of many rapidly growing urban areas during the early 20th century. While efforts had been made to improve sanitization and public health, there were still areas that required attention. Sanitary conditions varied across different neighborhoods and communities. In densely populated urban areas, issues such as inadequate waste management, overcrowded living conditions, and poor sanitation infrastructure were common. Lack of proper sewage systems and garbage disposal methods could lead to unsanitary living conditions, posing health risks to residents. In particular, neighborhoods with low socioeconomic status often faced greater challenges in maintaining adequate sanitary conditions. These areas might lack access to clean water, proper waste disposal facilities, and adequate healthcare services, contributing to higher rates of infectious diseases and health disparities. Efforts to address sanitary conditions in Seattle included municipal initiatives to improve waste management, sewage systems, and public hygiene education. Public health campaigns promoted cleanliness, proper sanitation practices, and disease prevention measures. Despite ongoing efforts to improve sanitary conditions, challenges persisted, and it would take continued investment in infrastructure, public health education, and regulatory measures to address these issues effectively. Overall, while progress had been made in some areas, there remained room for improvement in ensuring sanitary conditions for all residents of Seattle in 1915. In her final visit to Seattle in 1915, Cabrini established a sanitarium, known as Columbus Sanitarium, later Cabrini Hospital, in 1916. It served as a healthcare institution dedicated to providing medical care and treatment to the sick. Initially intended as a foundling home, Cabrini repurposed the property, located at the southwest corner of Madison and Warren Street, to address the healthcare needs of the community. The sanitarium offered medical services, including diagnosis, treatment, and convalescence to individuals suffering from various illnesses and ailments. It played a crucial role in providing healthcare services to the local population, contributing to the well-being and healing of those in need. And this marked her last institution before her passing in 1917. Though her physical presence in Seattle concluded, Cabrini's legacy endured. Her canonization process began in 1928, culminating in her declaration as a saint by Pope Pius XII in 1946. Notably, she was named the patron saint to immigrants in 1950. Today, her remains rest in the chapel of the Blessed Mother Cabrini High School in New York City, honoring her tireless devotion to serving immigrants and the less fortunate worldwide.
My sisters, if we are to build an empire of hope, we must first conquer New York.
What do you think? Comment down in the section below and don't forget to like and subscribe.